Nancy, you are there in Kenosha. I want to start with you. Talk a bit about what led to this verdict and really why wasn't the prosecution able to prove its case?
Yumish, good to be with you. Absolutely. We have had this trial going on now for about 3 weeks. It's been a contentious 3 weeks with jurors hearing from over 30 witnesses and hearing about these different arguments that both sides have made. The prosecution arguing that Kyle Rittenhouse was an instigator who was looking for trouble. They said cross state lines with that AR-15 style weapon and provoked the confrontations that led to the deaths of 2 men and another man being seriously injured. But there were a lot of issues because the defense at the same time argued that Rittenhouse came to Kenosha that night essentially looking to provide medical help and also protect personal property, but ended up in a fast-moving and chaotic chain of events that led to him ultimately having to defend his life.
And Nancy, there have been a lot of calls for peace. We know that the Wisconsin governor at one point mobilized some 500 National Guardsmen in really to get ready for this verdict to come down. You're there on the ground. What's it like there? What's the atmosphere? How are people reacting?
It has been relatively calm. Essentially, when that verdict was first announced, there was a crowd of protesters and demonstrators who were on the steps of the courthouse. They cheered and many honked their horns. There were also those who were upset about the verdict. But now, as night falls here in Kenosha, it's relatively calm. The crowd that was behind me on those court steps has now dissipated. And while security and law enforcement are keeping a close eye on what happens tonight, so far it's pretty quiet.
And Nancy, one other quick follow-up. I wonder, can you talk a bit about how people are reacting specifically to the judge's role in this and sort of what message it sends to other people across the country? The sense of some folks, especially critics of this verdict, saying that it sends a message that some other people, vigilantes possibly, can come out, start a fight and shoot people and get away with it. Of course, again, Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty of doing just that.
Well, this is certainly a trial and a verdict that has been very divisive. A lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts about how this might send the wrong message. The Attorney General of Wisconsin saying that he does not believe in vigilantism. At the same time, you have President Biden also coming forward and talking about the verdict today, saying that he is angry and concerned like many Americans, but he believes in this verdict, a verdict that was arrived at over 4 days of deliberations. And you also have President Trump weighing in on this, saying that he congratulates Kyle Rittenhouse. So, and that's just a small taste of essentially what you're hearing from many different sides, because there were so many different issues that were at play here in this one trial.